What's good, everyone? My name is Albert Green III, and welcome to the Momentum series. This will be a four-part series where I'll be talking about, explaining, and giving brief examples on how to cultivate a mindset to become the best version of yourself that you can be, accomplishing your goals, driving your passions, and establishing a sense of self identity, one that we can accept, one that we can challenge, one that we can embrace, and one that we can master to really have the fun in life. So let's dive in. So, the first tenet of the Momentum series will be all about self care. And what do I mean by this? Well, there's three questions that I will present to you that will be answered throughout the entirety of this series. And I want you guys to answer these questions while listening to the series. And if you have answers to these questions right now, that's okay. And if you don't, that's also okay because these questions will be referred back to throughout the series. And these questions are: who are you? How do you see yourself? And what makes you unique? I'll also throw in a bonus question in there. And if this applies to you, how do you want to improve? One approach to answering these three questions is what makes you happy? And to me, happiness is the art that brings you joy. And it's unique to every individual, right? It can be concrete, it can be abstract, it can even be simple. It can be even as simple as sitting on this floor and meditating. It can be as simple as talking to your parents and having lovely conversations. Whatever the case may be, it's something that brings you joy. And another thing to think about is how do you conform or create happiness? And how do these aspects, these ideas, these ideals, how do these things shape your environment? And keep this in mind as we continue on with the series. Because another approach to the three questions mentioned before is what are some distractions in your life? Distractions happen and occur every single day. And it's up to us to determine how they influence our lives, right? Distractions come in many shapes, sizes, forms, and influences. They can be physical, they can be mental, they can even be social, right? But again, it's up to us to determine how they influence our lives. And I like to break distractions down into two different categories: positive ones and negative ones. Positive distractions are something that allow you to maintain your productivity throughout your day. And some examples are, working out, eating healthy, and socializing in a positive manner. And negative distractions is something that takes that energy away from you. And a big one is getting stuck in the matrix. I call it the matrix, but another term is doom scrolling. Spending hours and hours on your phone, draining away the time and energy that you could be doing and you be using for something else, right? So deciding and distinguishing what kind of distractions influence our lives will help us answer three questions. A big question to ask is, how can I incorporate these activities within my daily life? How do I have the time to include more activities that bring me joy? And how do I have the time to utilize more positive distractions while limiting negative ones? And it's a good thing that we all have schedules within our lives, right? We all have schedules that we tune to. We all wake up, we all eat breakfast, or whatever the case may be. We all come back, eat some food, and go to sleep, right? But these schedules are not set in stone. And a key thing is creating a mindset to shift our schedules to include more positive distractions and limiting negative ones. And a big thing is also we all have obligations, right? People may have obligations, responsibilities that take up most of their time. And that's okay because we're all unique. We all have unique qualities. We're all unique individuals. But there are instances where you can take, an extra 5, 10, 15 minutes to incorporate some healthy practices within your life. For example, let's say instead of being stuck in the matrix for 5, 10, 15, however long it is, you take some of that time and let's say you learn a new language or you go and have a constructive conversation with someone to learn something new. Over time, and continue building on these little things, you'll never know how far you will be or how far you will go in this new information. And continuing to build upon these actions, we are building the momentum and a foundation of a new mindset and a new identity, creating a mindset of growth. So, what do I mean by a growth mindset? Well, a mindset establishes how one acts, and the way you think affects the way you feel, and specific actions come forth from those thoughts. Let me say that again, but in a different way. How you think affects your beliefs, so your thoughts affect your beliefs, which affects your actions. An example explaining these topics is, let's say you have a goal to sail the seven seas. And let's start with a negative mindset and a negative perspective. Some negative thoughts that arise are, I don't even have a boat. I don't even have a license. I can't even start this process of learning to sail the seven seas if I don't have these things within my life. Like, these negative thoughts are already affecting the way you're thinking of your approach to even starting your goal. And now these negative thoughts are turned to beliefs. Now, since you know that, or since you've already thought that you can't do this, that you already thought that you don't have a license, you already thought that I don't have a boat, that starts the belief of knowing that I can't accomplish this goal because I don't have these things. I haven't prepared myself to be able to even think about doing the goal in mind. And now these negative beliefs turn into actions. Well, in this case, there is no action because of the negative mindset and the negative energy that's been accumulating over time. And in this case, you actually take a step back, right? You take a step back past ground zero because the inaction and the accumulation of self doubt creeps up, which hinders you from achieving that goal of sailing the seven seas. Now, on the flip side, let's say you've had a positive mindset in thinking about how to sail the seven seas. So, some positive thoughts when you're first starting out is, okay, I know I'm here and I need to get here. What steps can I take to get to the next level? Now I'm thinking positively on my actions and my approach. Okay, I know I need to learn this information to get certified. I know I have to learn about this type of wood making or this type of hardmanship to be able to maintain and repair a boat. I know I have to rely on these certain amount of people to help me if I need a crew on sailing the seven seas. Whatever the case may be and whatever approach you take, you're taking positive steps towards that growth. So now the steps that you've been building upon is building momentum and creating these positive thoughts into positive beliefs. Now you know that you have the wisdom and you have the ability to continue pursuing your goals. And these steps, these influences, this positive energy will continue to form and create positive actions. You now have the confidence to go set out and conquer your goal. And this may even come to you indirectly, right? After all the planning, after all of building the momentum and the foundation of creating that positive mindset and positive presence, you may get invited onto a trip to sail a sea. And this will open up a breadth of opportunities for more explorations to come. Because it's the accumulation of feedback, it's the accumulation of a cycle to really embrace that positive aspect. So going back to mindset, going back to environments, going back to distractions, even going back to happiness. How can you shape your identity to include these positive aspects to become the person that you want to become? How can you shape your environment and an identity to become and to conquer your goals that drive your passions? Essentially, how does one shape their environment and shape their mindset to tune to an identity that works for you? Well, that's it for part one of the Momentum series. I hope you all enjoyed. Part two will be all about minding your own business, and that'll be a fun one. But again, like, comment, subscribe to what you've been thinking. This is a new series that I'm working on. And again, this is all about cultivating a mindset to become the person that you want to be. With all that said, my name is Albert Green III, and I'm signing off.